Today we're here to see if the Christi Chloe no phone call story is correct. Are they telling the truth? What's really going on? So it reminded me of a time way back in like season 3, whenever Kelly and Christi were like mad at each other because Christi walked out and she felt like that Kelly should have called her. Well, maybe let's just watch it for a couple seconds and see, what went on.
So what just went on right there?
I asked her why she didn't answer my phone calls.
What'd she say?
She said she only got one, and I didn't leave a message. I never leave her a message. When you see that you missed the call, really just call back. But I'm having a bad week thing isn't cutting it.
I'm going to sit up here because I'm not playing games. I'm not.
I'm just saying how I don't understand why you were mad at me.
I was mad at you about what happened, and I was waiting for you to call me because of all this that was going on. I was just waiting for you to reach out to me and I did. I'm not going to fight with you about it. My feelings were hurt because you know how bad this sucks. All I wanted was a phone call from you. That's all, Kelly. When you were going through, I called you every day.
I did call you.
On Friday. You never
No,
called
I
me.
didn't. I called you Sunday at the competition. The day you left. Yeah.
Okay, so we just saw where Christi and Kelly had that big argument. Crazy. So it's the same scenario, sort of, in a way. It's like she left, someone tried to call, Christi denies it, and she says, I only got one call.
I think the whole I only got one call thing is that she got the call. She was too, okay, I'm going to say it like this, not trying to be like sexist or anything, but as a female, no, not all females are like this, but I know that sometimes I'm upset and people will text or call me if I'm upset. Sometimes I don't answer because I don't feel like talking at that point. It depends on my level of anger. I won't necessarily be like, oh, you didn't call me, but it's like, at the same time, depending on the situation, maybe you just don't want to be talked to. It's a different thing to deny that somebody tried to get in contact with you, especially if they're saying, look, I reached out to you, I want to see if you're okay, and if you're getting mad at them because they didn't respond the way you wanted them to,
right?
And they tried to respond.
I mean, I don't know. I think Christi is the type of person that if, she's not getting exactly what she wants, she's going to leave. I mean, it seems like, but if Christi didn't have this behavior before, I probably would be like, yeah, they probably didn't call because they probably wasn't allowed to call. But even Abby has said that she tried to contact her, not just on the show, but in one of the meet and greets that she had in Australia. Let's watch that.
Let me just say, I have every email, I have every text message inviting her to take part in events that are the Abby Against Company events. They choose not to. Sadly, sometimes the child never knows that she was invited. Her mother either doesn't respond, doesn't react, or says no, then turns around and tells the kid, you weren't invited, which is not true, and we have every word to forgive. So they choose to do their own thing. It's really about money. It's a personal, issue. The kids are all here. You all came to be here. It's a beautiful venue. They're dancing. It's our choreography. They don't really have the rights to use any of our choreography without us. Stuff like that. So it's just to each his own. There's some issues that I don't really agree with. So I don't teach your kids to lie. Other people do.
Even Abby has said that she has tried to call and invite her to stuff, and Christi's just not responded. And I think Christi is the type of person that she really just wants to break away. Really don't blame her, because Chloe's very talented, and obviously since she's been with Abby the last few years, I have seen her talent, well, not really her talent, but her confidence go from high to extremely low. So I definitely understand, her wanting to take, Chloe out, but if that's the case, please don't try to make it out like they pushed her out and they didn't want her.
Right, like if you don't want her to be in there, it's the one thing, it's like, that's your child, you're going to do what your child you want, no one's going to tell you to raise your child, and you want what's best for your kid. Like Holly did when she took Nia to the studio. But don't, like you said, don't make it out as if people are doing you wrong. If they went ahead and went to the fact they're trying to help, or they're trying to reach out to you, and you refuse to accept that, and your only thing is, they only called me one time, but I returned it. It kind of, at first you're kind of like, okay, so maybe it's just a show thing, like you said, maybe it's a show thing, but she shows behavior where it's repeated behavior. And usually, if you see it happen one time, 9 out of 10.
I think it's great that Christi decided to take Chloe, because Chloe is amazing now. Some of the dances I've seen her do lately are amazing. So I really do think that, that was a great move on Christi's part.
Like, can we mention, like, a meet and greet with Chloe when she was asked about the girls?
Yeah, I mean, even with Chloe, it's sort of like Chloe was tired and she didn't want to be bothered with the girls. And, even in the meet and greet, we'll watch a clip of that. She, one of the girls asked her what she missed most about the studio, and she really didn't say anything. Her mom prompted her to say the girls, and she was pretty much, well, we've grown apart.
Let's watch this.
Let's take a look.
What do you miss most about Abby's studio?
Yeah, I mean, I miss the girls, but we kind of threw a party at the end, so.
So you see, Chloe pretty much says, she's grown apart from them, but she's not been allowed, or either she's not been allowed or she's not wanted to be in contact, because the girls made it very, clear that they miss her, and, they really would like to see and talk to her.
I'm not blaming Christi for how Chloe acts, but I feel like a lot of times it's how you're influenced by your parent when a traumatic situation, like a big situation, or a big change like that happens, like in Chloe's life. She was cut straight from the team and she went off and started doing her own thing. Maybe it's like you have to learn how to cope with these things. Like when you're in really weird situations with people you're really close to, you have to convince yourself, oh, well, maybe I don't miss them that much. It wasn't even, we were growing apart anyway. You have to convince yourself of these things to cope with it, to get through it. I don't know how Chloe copes with things. Maybe it's a coping mechanism.
If someone was like your sister in that capacity, for you to just be apart for a few months and say, oh, we've grown apart, that's really hard. You just don't grow apart from someone that
you've known
for years, and
like
you
your
dance
whole life,
with, and you spent most of your time with in the
Travel
studio.
every weekend.
Like, even on some of the other videos, Chloe tries to tease a little bit and, make out like she's going to be in season 5 in some capacity. Let's watch a clip at one of her meet and greets when someone asked her about it.
In season 5? I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. I think so. I don't really know.
Just the other girls in GLBC studio. How do you know her mom's still there?
You just said it! Oh, well, just answer her question. Do you miss them?
Yes.
So this clip was done, I think, before the season started, or right at the beginning of the season, and the last clip was in Chicago in December, where she tried to make out like, how do you know that I'm really not still at the studio?
Oh, wink, wink.
Yeah, but obviously things have happened, behind the scenes that we don't know about. We're all just speculating. But bottom line, do you think that they're telling the truth? Do you think that, I think the girls tried to call, and I think Christi just wasn't having it. And the only way that she could break Chloe away from it is to, make it seem like that they didn't really care. I mean, I don't know. That's just my speculation.
Like, that makes it seem so brutal, but sometimes when it comes to your child, I mean, I know I'm 17 and you're like, what do you know about kids? I mean, I know from the perspective of somebody who is young, who's had to be, like, taken from certain situations, and though it may seem hard, it's the right thing for me to do. And you may not understand that, but you have to put it in the respect of the other child. You have to make them think, is this really beneficial? Is thinking about the situation beneficial? Is holding on to these friendships really beneficial for you? And usually once the child comes to realization, you're like, okay, so maybe it's not. And
I think that Chloe's getting a lot of opportunities now too, and she's not under the added pressure from Abby, and it has made her flourish. It has made her grow a whole lot. She seems so much happier, and I'm proud of Chloe, because I am Team Chloe. I think Chloe is a beautiful dancer, but I don't think it's fair that, I say again, that if you want to leave, but don't blame someone, try to make someone look, horribly bad, and like they're pushing you out and they don't want Chloe to be a part of anything, because that's just not true. If it was another child, someone like Nia, where she always pulled Nia solo, she always did this, and I think she did little nitpicky things with Chloe. But Chloe was one of the ones right after Maddie that got solos, that got special parts. I mean,
she was in the music video first. She was the first person to be cast in the music video from the Avid Lee Dance Studio.
Even beyond that, you know, if someone got a solo, if it wasn't Maddie, it was Chloe.
And then their duets were amazing. I lived for their duets.
Exactly.
So,
and it was very rare that Abby would pull Chloe's stuff. And yes, she did put Chloe up against a lot of people. And yes, I do believe that she did give her substandard choreography sometimes. But, you know, it's what you make of it. And she did have the opportunity where the other girls didn't have the opportunity.
And even with this substandard choreography, she still beat people who she gave amazing choreography, too. Like the last season where she beat
Cameron?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what I was going to call her. It wasn't Cameron. When she beat Cameron, I mean, she didn't get, like, first place. She still was top 5. She beat Cameron.
Because her technique was
Because her technique is amazing. Chloe is an amazing dancer. Abby did very well with Chloe. It's just like...
I mean, and I think this thing about this is the way I teach. Well, I'm sorry, Abby. I don't believe that for 1 minute, because Maddie is amazing, and she's amazing because you show her love and compassion. And some of that, I don't know if you show it behind the scenes to the other girls, but you don't show it on camera. And I know that they can cut scenes out, but you even go off record and say that's just how you teach. But they don't show you yelling and screaming at Maddie. They show you giving compassion to her and giving her corrections. And maybe she does take them a little bit better, but if the kids are not taking the corrections with the yelling and screaming, then maybe you might want to try a different method. It seems like Christi has got a lot of things set up for Chloe. Let's, listen to some of the things that she has set up for Chloe.
Interesting. She's got some really cool things coming up that she's filming. She's going to be on a TV show that I think most of you watch, and she booked a movie. And there's another big project coming up that I think most of you will be very interested to see.
So Chloe's got some things coming up. So our next video, we're going to be telling you what Brooke and Paige is going to be doing. So, that's going to be really exciting. So what things they're going to be coming up with in the next few weeks, or not few weeks, but a few months. Some footage that we found on YouTube, and about some of the things that Kelly said that Brooke and Paige has in the waterworks. So happy for them. But we're going to wrap up today, and be sure to subscribe to us. We'll be posting a video in the next week about Brooke and Paige and what they're up to and what they're doing right now. And we're going to be posting more videos about dance moms, because I love dance moms and I love giving my opinion. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.